So there's a lot of talk in Christian space about manifestation. I put in quotes for now because I haven't defined it for you guys. But there's a stigma around it, much like self-improvement. And if you watch my other videos where I talk about this, you would know I think this stigma is retarded. Because self-improvement and manifestation are blank canvases. These things are not good or bad in a vacuum. These are subjective things. For example, self-improvement. That's improving yourself. Who decides what's improving yourself? You. So to say, oh, it's bad or sinful, it's not smart. Yeah, it's retarded. They're retarded. They don't think. So, what I would, an example I would use is say manifestation and self-improvement are like, it's like a hammer. It's like a hammer. Can you use a hammer for really bad things? Yes. You can do very bad things with a hammer. Can you use a hammer for good? Yeah. Some person, your neighbor has an issue and he needs someone with a hammer, he doesn't have one, you can give it to him. Boom, hammer just used for good. Now, at the same time, you could go kill that neighbor with the hammer. Use the hammer for bad. The hammer itself is a neutral object. It's not good or bad. Same thing with self-improvement, same thing with manifestation. So, what exactly is manifestation? I'm not talking about the rubbing rocks together manifestation where I'm gonna have $1 million tomorrow and then $1 million upon your bank account. What I think manifestation is thinking about what you want and visualizing it heavily. For example, let's do an example the Christians would like, right? I will imagine myself. I imagine myself sitting down with a Bible, reading it. I become very diligent at it. I learn a lot about it. I learn about the history, etc., etc., etc. I become this extremely knowledgeable person. Anyone could ask me any question about it, and I would be able to answer them. That's what I just imagined. Now, why is this important to do? Why should you do it? First of all, realize how that's a good act. It's not bad. What you just did to Christians, that's good, but you just manifested, so it's sinful, right? It doesn't make sense. Again, neutral act. But if you want to improve yourself, if you want to get on with life, this is something you need to do. This is the type of thing you need to do. You need to do some form of manifestation because if improving yourself is about action, right? So a lot of people say, "Oh, work out, oh, read books, blah 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 blah." That's good. You should. But what they don't realize is that action you need, if you want to do an action, you need to know the desired results so you can take the right actions, right? So if you want to get from point A to point B, you use action, right? But if you don't know what point B is, then how do you know how to take the right action? So point A is where you are now. Let's say, just go back to the example. Point A, you don't know anything about the Bible, you don't read it. Okay. Point B is what you manifested, and you said, okay, this is where I want to be. Now you can take the action. Let's say you didn't do point B. If you didn't figure out where your point B is, then it's much harder to take the right actions that will actually fulfill you and actually make you happy. So, like I said, it's a neutral act. It's completely necessary if you actually want to improve your life in some form. Again, I'm not talking about like, ooh, I'm rubbing rocks together, ooh, so star signs. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about just simply imagining yourself being at point B from point A. And then use these 2 points you have. You know where point A is, you know where point B is. You find the actions that lead you to point B. That's how you improve your life.